Hello and good morning. It's only been a couple of hours since we last were live and we're continuing where we started. Basically, we're doing what I announced yesterday, just a little bit earlier than I thought we're going to be doing it, and that is running through TIMTIM's adventure. This is, as far as I'm concerned, one of the easier adventures. There were very few encounters where I was like, I have no clue how to master this, which makes a lot of sense given the fact that a lot of units that are blue happen to be really good, like Dorga and Giggs. Bullmon is also a very strong unit. Penda is pretty good and useful in this adventure as far as I'm concerned. And that's the one reason. And then the other things that are true for TIMTIM, he's a ranged unit, which means you can again play units like Queen Akeshru or Giggs, like Grandma Bones, like gives you a lot of options, all of which are really good options. And then lastly, he's mounted. These tend to be the hardest challenges or levels out of all of these requirements or all of these specifics and traits of TIMTIM, but it's still not a gigantic challenge. And if we take that all together, it doesn't come as much of a surprise that after basically just one day of adventuring, because the adventure started yesterday, this is where we are at the moment. We only got the legendary encounter ahead of us. Everything else has been solved. Also, I did not mention this, but TIMTIM is quite a good unit, generally speaking. TIMTIM is really useful, very versatile. He's a bit of a jack of all trades. He can do several things really well. He doesn't happen to be the best unit at any of these things. He's not like the best ranged attacker. He's not the best melee attacker, even though he has a passive that allows him to do massive damage when he's attacking as a melee unit. He has a great AoE effect, and actually potentially the best AoE effect in the game. Yeah, I think that's actually fair to say. When it comes to non-targeting AoE effects that just affect a bunch of enemy units, TIMTIM might have the best effect in the game. So there's that. There is that. Good timing, I'm just about to have dinner. Yeah, hello, hey Xis. Ich glaube, du streamst auf dem falschen Twitch-Kanal. Let me check this. Oh yes, I turned on everything yesterday. Oh, Jesus Christ. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I turned on everything yesterday to prepare for my work stream and totally messed this up because I wanted to stream the Rivengard stuff in the evening, and this did not work out. Obviously, this did not work out whatsoever. But I did create the YouTube thing, so at least there's that. I guess all the Rivengard players are watching it on YouTube. Thank you for the notification, Sarosh. We're going to be doing the work stream after this stream, because we're actually also streaming our work. Alright, I think it's working now. Oof. Technical difficulties, please stand by. Alright, as we are not doing the summoning token giveaway at the end of this stream, because I gave you guys such short notice, what we're doing is you just leave a comment below the video, and then tomorrow, at some point during the day, whenever I find the time, I will be drawing a lucky winner. I will record the whole drawing process basically, so there is no shenanigans, no wild stuff basically. And then one of you will be messaged on YouTube basically. I'm gonna leave a comment under your comment and let you know that you won the summoning token giveaway. So we don't have to wait today, like yesterday, where we are like, okay, let's wait for a few more people to show up. Don't tell me you bought the 13,500 gems. 13,500 gems? Where's 13,500? I have 22k gems. Oh, if I get 20 more, this is gonna be a cool number. Where's 13.5? Like, you mean after yesterday to today? No. No. I don't tend to buy gems very often. You actually can get rewards for doing these videos, which helps a lot if you're a crazy person and you play way too much arena. In the shop. In the shop? Let me just double check. What's in the shop? Oh, you mean the biggest offer? Yeah, at some point during my vacation, I was like, I'm gonna spend money on my vacation on stuff that I enjoy doing, and then I actually went for Rivengard. I still never bought the 200 gems offer. Yeah, that was during the vacation, when it was still cheaper, before Apple raised the prices in the App Store. Alright, anyway, let's break down this adventure. I'm gonna be pausing this and turning this on. And this is the very beginning. We're starting with common encounter number 1. This was actually pretty hard. I needed like 5 attempts or something. I tried Queen Akeshru, I tried Runner Clue, I tried Grandma Bones before I realized that I have to win on the first turn. And then at some point, oh yeah, and my battery was low. Yeah, this really went well. And then at some point, I was like, okay, I guess Areos is the unit of choice. And that did actually work rather well. So you can start with Areos. He's really good against these Goblin Warriors. Then TIMTIM. And then lastly, Queen Akeshru to give you the perfect score on the very first turn. And don't do it like me. I ended up like needing 5 or 6 attempts in the end. Alright, that already takes us to common encounter number 2. Where we do not have any requirements. We can play whoever we want. I think I needed a moment to... Oh, I guess I didn't edit the common levels. Oh, I did, okay. I went with the best units that I believe for many of these encounters. Happen to be Gigs. Always play Gigs if you can. Runner Clue is really good against these goblins that block everything after otherwise. And then TIMTIM always or often felt like the unit where I was like, I'm not really convinced that he's like the best unit here, to be honest. A viable option would have been to first go in with Runner Clue, just saw that now. Here the only problem is, or actually there's no problem. The main challenge is the catapult gonna be shooting at your units, and it cannot because it's still a ranged unit, even though it's an object. So even the catapult has to abide by the rules, and the rules in this case dictate that it has to attack the unit next to it, which was a shade. Here I actually kind of misplayed because I wanted to attack with Queen Akeshru, the slinger. Didn't really work, but in the end they were going for the summons, which was really good, and that allowed me to get the perfect score here. Which takes us to common encounter number 3. Again, no requirements. Again, I needed at least 2 attempts. The first attempt was quite funny. I moved Tanamo down here, placed her next to these slingers, wanted to use the active of TIMTIM, and then I wanted to slice and dice with Tanamo. And after TIMTIM's effect, they all were dead. I still don't know how this happened, to be honest, because I looked at the expected damage that TIMTIM is doing, and it was not enough. It was not enough to kill these guys. So I tried it the second time. This time, again, TIMTIM goes completely nuts and kills these guys immediately. And then you can use Tanamo here on the right side, because she's like critting through their armor if they have one. And even if she does not crit, she can very, very easily give you the win here. So now the question is, do we go for the goblins? Or do we go for the catapults? I played it risky, but the catapults did me the favor and attacked somebody else instead of my units, so nobody's taking any damage. If you want to play it a little bit more safe, attack the catapults and just wait for the one goblin guy to, I don't know, attack someone or something, I don't know. Uncommon encounter number 1. Was there a requirement? This looks like mages only, right? Let me just quickly go back a second. This is uncommon. Oh yeah, only mages. Okay, we can only play mages if you happen to have them. Grandma Bones is always great in these encounters, because all of a sudden you have an army of skeletons. So the enemy's never gonna attack you, they always deal with your skeletons, and that just frees up so much space for you. There's a couple other encounters where the same is true, where you have to play only mages. And I mean, this was a showcase of what Grandma Bones can do. She just gives you so much security in these encounters. Other good mages are obviously Penda, for example. He can also really, really help, because of the ice blocks the enemies from moving in. We're going to see that in a later encounter. So here we have to play blue units in uncommon encounter number 2. I went with Dorga because I got her, and she's really good. In case you did not know, Dorga is like a really good unit in this game. And after that, I went with Giggs and Bullmon on the other side. Bullmon is not really a requirement, but he has one great advantage, which we're going to see in a second. He can heal himself. It's not really healing, but it's again the way the adventure works. So now he took some damage. Thank you very much for Media Lancer. Hey, sorry for using the wrong stream first. So now he can move to the side. And Bullmon is actually eating one of the summons, and that increases his health. And now Bullmon has more health than he had starting the level. And this is all the game cares about. It only looks at how much health did the unit have at the start of the level, and how much health does it have at the end of the level. And if it's more, even if the unit is not at 100% health, the game thinks that the unit is unharmed. And that means even though Bullmon did take some damage, we end up with 500 points because he had more health than when he started the level. So this is a little cheat. This is a way of healing your own units. Sometimes you had to heal them in a different way. Here we have to play mounted units in uncommon encounter number 3. And the only real way to do that would be Penda, because Penda can actually heal blue units. So on this encounter I went with a very weird strategy, I think. I just went in with TIMTIM immediately. You clear the entire pond in the middle of the map. And then my biggest problem was Sir Florianus and his passive, which was striking back and dealing damage. So what I did here is I went with Silverroot. Obviously we know this. Whenever the game requires you to play mounted units, we all know by this point that Kyle is trying to tell us that Silverroot is the best unit in the game. Don't fall for this. It's heresy. It's not true. He's not the best unit in the game, but he's pretty good. So now we can move Accio in, and then Accio's passive comes into play. Now he healed himself, and then we can use Accio's active or any other option. Like, we can use Yasmin on Silverroot and then shoot again. Like, there's like a million options to finish this. After you got lucky with the initial activation of TIMTIM and the initial activation of Silverroot. This takes us to the rare encounters where we have to play blue units. Or maybe even, I think it's not just blue, I think actually Azure Tower. Reefkins. So Dogger is good. Yeah, I know. I'm blowing your mind today, guys. So Dogger is a unit, and even a pretty good one. So here, the good thing is that these guys cannot jump from this tile to this tile, so they cannot immediately head for the bridge. And once you figure that out, you know that TIMTIM is actually safe here, and you do have some time, so let's just stay behind and keep in mind that your units are amphibious, which means they can walk over water. So Gix is what I almost said. Gix can walk over water and just like hit the guy on the other side. And this is how you end up with like a very convenient win here. Which takes us to rare encounter number 2. Woof, we're running through this adventure. This is potentially the hardest encounter in this entire adventure. I'm not 100% sure about this, but I just felt like I got extremely lucky. I needed 2 attempts, and I did master it on the second attempt. I think that Queen Akeshru is like a must, because you just want to have like someone that can create summons. And then the spawn rate with Gix is out of this world. You have 4 summons, and you still end up with only 1. So it kind of tells you something, that there's a lot going on in this encounter. And the first attempt I went just in immediately. Here I thought it makes a little bit more sense to wait 1 more turn. Now I can't say that this is the best strategy, but it seemed okay. I'm really not convinced of this strategy. I really do believe that this might be the worst played encounter that I have in this entire video, which is not a good thing if this is the worst. Yeah, we could do it another shade, we take another guy out, and then TIMTIM does really nothing. And we're getting kind of lucky that this guy cannot connect with us. But then this is the second to last turn where we can get a lightning victory. And I'm going for the active of TIMTIM, and it does absolutely nothing. Don't go for the active of TIMTIM in this encounter. But yet another shade, yet another attack by both TIMTIM and Gix. And that's gonna get us there. Here we got lucky, he didn't block. And in the end, this is the lightning victory. So, not the easiest encounter. I don't like the way I played this. I think there's a much better way. But you have to find it on your own. So now we can finally play Penda. Woo! I was actually waiting for that moment. I was like the entire adventure, I was like, I want to play Penda at some point because I have to play blue units. And this was the level. I'm not saying he's like the best unit for this level. I just felt like this is a pretty good choice. If you want to be a pro, move Penda up here, shoot the guy at the front, use TIMTIM, shoot the guy in the back. But you can also do it like this. And now we can already see this is gonna be great for Corrin. Corrin, generally speaking, great unit. And now the enemies cannot no longer connect with any of our mages because they cannot traverse the ice. Yes, they could hit Corrin, but it doesn't matter because he's an elemental. And since he's standing on ice, he's gonna heal himself. So, this is by like no stretch of the imagination the best strategy for this encounter, but it was a very fun strategy. Alright, in this encounter we are not allowed to play any healers, which, I don't know, I mean, I guess a Nixie tree would have been good, but even so, like, again, if you have Grandma Bones, this is like an auto win if I've ever seen one. So you just go in with Gix, Grandma Bones stands next to the enemy, she can suck out the life of this one enemy, and then the question is, do we go for high ground with TIMTIM or not? It really depends. I thought it's fine, and I was just afraid that this guy is gonna go 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3 and hit TIMTIM. But the Slinger is doing us a favor, hitting a skeleton instead, so we're good. And we can already see, like, we won this. There's, like, no question about it, we again won this encounter. So first bring Grandma Bones into position, so you get a few more skeletons, then use the active of TIMTIM, and then you can also use the active of Queen Akeshru. But it's not like it matters. We have 3 more turns to win this, so we're good. We're like very, very good. This was relatively straightforward, relatively easy. At least if you happen to have a Grandma Bones. If you don't, you just create summons another way. In encounter number 5, this is also a relatively hard level, I believe. I just believe that I also got pretty lucky. So you can only play mages. But again, like Dorga just almost wins this level on her own. Like, you have this very nice opening in the bottom, where you can immediately get like a skeleton again, courtesy of Grandma Bones, because she also happens to be a mage. Then you place Grandma Bones in position again, so you get like another skeleton, and you shoot from a distance, you get another skeleton. And now the only question was, are we staying in the back and not move out, or are we going like all frontal assault basically? And the big question here is, what's going to happen with Pari's active? Because if Pari's active is shooting like, for example, this guy at the front, she would hit the skeleton in the back, but not run a clue. So it depends a little bit on where the skeleton is spawning, whether or not you're going to be lucky enough. Like, we completely won and dominated the bottom part of the map. There's like no question about it. And now it's all about the top part of the map. But we do have an option here to get rid of Pari, surprisingly, with Grandma Bones. I was really surprised that Grandma Bones does this much damage. Yeah, now the webs are gone, and that means this is completely over. Yes, this is the last turn, but we had like 2 ranged attackers in range, TIMTIM and Grandma Bones. So even if this wouldn't have worked out, we were like never in danger of not winning this in time. In epic encounter number 1, we are required to play mounted heroes. I made the mistake of going with the classical combo of Sormat and Akio. Although we all know at this point in time that whenever you have to play mounted heroes, you have to play Silverroot. It's a rule. It's a rule in these adventures. If I'm ever not going to be able to play Silverroot, I'm going to be disappointed in Kyle. So, we're going in with TIMTIM, clear almost the entire board. This guy at the bottom is a bit of a problem, but now they should, hopefully, attack the guy. The magical horse is what I'm going to call it. But, Silverroot. And level is over. Yeah. What a killjoy, the Silverroot. What a killjoy. In epic encounter number 2, we need to play blue units. This is another harder encounter. I had one advantage. I've played this before. This was a level in a past adventure. So this is a really good opening. Don't forget that Giggs can just traverse the water, and then he can go with Dorga in the middle. You get like a lot of frogs, and yes, it looks like it matters, but it doesn't. Like, quite honestly, it does not matter. The key play here is this play, because now these goblins can only move 1 tile and they cannot connect with your units. Yes, there's 1 more enemy, but like this 1 enemy is not gonna like single-handedly take you out. And then Panda gets buffed. Oh, he doesn't even get buffed. If you had moved Panda 1, 2, 3 spots, he would be standing next to 1 ice tile. And that would have meant that he's 100% guaranteed to take out this enemy. Here, I should have attacked with Dorga at the goblin, to be honest. Didn't even see this move. But we're fine. We have another turn. And that means we now get the lightning victory. So again, the key play here, in my opinion, was the Panda move. Because the ice is blocking the goblins from running in and dealing with your units, and then eventually dealing some damage to your heroes. This takes us to the last epic encounter and the last recorded encounter, where we have to play ranged units. Again, ranged units is like such an invitation. I was super surprised that Boulder immediately went down. I thought that I actually have to like look for ways to take out Boulder and come up with something, but apparently no, this is not a super powered Boulder, or my Giggs is super powered, who knows. This is a misplay. We should have first moved Grandma Bones like here, and then attacked with Queen Akeshru, because then we had a skeleton and a shade and not just a shade. This is one of those mini combos in this game. It's not like the strongest combo ever, but it's a good play. Also, we do have a healer on board with Nixie, so even if we do take some damage here, we're like very fine. And it looks like these goblins are taking more abuse and damage than Boulder for some reason, which is really uncharacteristic, because Boulder normally is like a very like resilient unit. But in the end, that's kind of it. We just went in and we went from 0 to 500. Heck yeah. Hey, Coffee Tojo. And that was the last epic encounter, and like I said, the last recorded encounter that we had for this adventure. Because that takes us to where we are right now, which happens to be the legendary encounter. So let me bring this back up, the sound. We do have 4 attempts at this, so I don't expect any troubles here. I think this is going to be easy, hopefully. I heard some of my guildmates, they said this is relatively easy. So let's give this a try. We have to play mages, and there's a very good chance that, again, we're going to be playing Queen Akeshru, Grandma Bones, TIMTIM, of course. And so I don't expect this to be hard, to be honest. There's a Ray of the Radiant Sun that we can get. Also, the entire adventure didn't feel super hard, but again, this is because all of the blue units, like, if we're looking at by faction, and if we break it down, we got, like, 3 really good units in the Azure Tower with Naevis, Corrin, and Penda, even though I never played Naevis in the entire adventure. And then for Rivengard as a whole is my most developed faction, I guess. I guess Caven Realm is also coming close. But like there's next to no bad Rivengard unit. Yes, even Tokon has its use, even though it's mostly in the tournament arena. But I no longer believe that Tokon is a terrible unit. I no longer believe that. And I guess that's it, yeah. So there is not a 3rd or 4th faction where you have like weird bad units, like with red units, where you have like 2 of the factions where you feel like, I have to, oh my god, I have to play Caven Realm, for example. Not Caven, sorry, the Hive. Yeah, and you're like, I didn't level them. I only have a Bussy, or I only have a Snaresbang. Like, this is not happening. Everybody has Rivengard units, or almost everybody has. Alright, anyway, legendary encounter. So, we can only play mages. I've also seen this legendary encounter before. This is another recycled adventure level that we had before. So, this already looks like Runner Clue is going to be really, really good here. Let me see where he would make the most sense. Also, I want to have a healer, so Nixie would be good. There is an we have 4 turns. Jesus, this seems way too easy. So we could move onto the bridge with our units and then try to hide from the enemy, but I don't think this is the best option. I actually quite believe that like full frontal assault is the way to go here. We can place 1 mage in the bottom right corner. That could be Runner Clue. How much health do you have? Oh, okay, so you're massive. All right. 500, so you're not massive, and you got 1,700. Okay, so the Goblin Warriors are going to be the problem. The Slingers are just there to annoy us. They don't really do anything. Oh, all of these guys are trash. Okay, so the entire bottom half of the map can be cleaned by TIMTIM on his own, as far as I can tell. 500 health. They have 900, 500, 500, 900. Okay, so TIMTIM is doing at least 1,000. Oh, TIMTIM. Why are you not doing at least 1,000? Okay, so there's a tiny chance that we're going for the active of TIMTIM and they're not all going to die. So if we want... Oh, Jesus! So if we want to play this 100% safe, we bring Grandma Bones in. And then if TIMTIM doesn't kill everything, we still have Grandma Bones to have skeletons, and then the enemy that is like remaining will be busy doing that. Okay, so that would take care of the bottom part. Now for the top part of the map. So you got 3,220. So that's not quite enough. Oh man, I would really like to play Grandma Bones at the top of the map rather than the bottom. So we could play Servidus. Servidus could Vine, Gibbo and Gobbo. Yeah. Then we would have to get rid of the guy. I don't want to play Grandma Bones at the bottom. Are we relying on TIMTIM to just wipe it out on his own? I've got to regret this so much. We also do get a shade. We also do get a healing part, so we should be really fine here. Okay, we have a 5th unit. Let's maybe play Nixie, so we can bring in Nixie from the bottom, move her to the top, and then heal someone if we have to. I think this actually sounds like a plan. So we can kill one person with Nixie if we have to. We can kill everybody else with TIMTIM. And then we can also use Nixie to heal the units at the top, so that seems like a plan. We take somebody out with Grandma Bones, preferably this guy at the front with 509. That gives us a skeleton. Then we're gonna Vine Servidus and place a shade next to, so when I say Servidus I mean Gibbo and Gobo. Then we place a shade next to Gibbo and Gobo because the shade is now standing on a healing pad, which should be pretty strong. And I think that would give us a win. The only question is, do we need Servidus? We might want to play somebody else. Actually, we might want to play Penda. Yeah, let's play Penda. Okay, sure, let's see. So, we're starting here. Let's just move everybody to the left side. Use the active on Gibbo and Gobo. Yep. This gives us one skeleton. The other guys don't die, that's fine. He's now down to 2067. So we might as well just get rid of him right away. Okay, now he's down to almost dead. He's at 1112. And now we can use Grandma Bones. Okay, cool. So we eliminated the most dangerous enemy unit. The enemies will have something to do dealing with our skeletons. So let's go to the bottom, go with TIMTIM. Okay, basically happened what we expected. We almost killed all of them, but we didn't quite. So we take one out with Nixie. And then now we can heal with Nixie. And the top part is 1. Yeah, I think we're good here. So we take out this guy. Then we can move TIMTIM to the front. TIMTIM can take out one guy. Then we have Penda. He can move wherever and he's dead. And we have 3 more turns. So we're like in no rush whatsoever. And that's it. Okay. If you happen to have a lot of really, really powerful mages, this is a walk in the park, as I expected. We could try and do some other strategies for this. But we could also just keep this short and sweet this entire stream. But I guess we do have another attempt. I mean, my units are kind of strong. Hey, so it will be wild to have max points on adventures as I lack the depth of my roster. But they are helpful nevertheless. Yes, so the first adventure you're playing when you just started the game, you have like no chance whatsoever to get a perfect score. But that's okay, you just have to stick with the game. Like, the second adventure you can already open like, I don't know, like the 6,000 points chest from my personal experience. But it's been a long, long time that I played in my first and second adventure. And then the third or fourth adventure, if you're like really busy and you get like a broad roster of units and you're like putting in the work, you can actually do extremely well. Okay, so this was one attempt. Can you do it without Grandma Bones? Probably, potentially. It's gonna be much harder if we have less skeletons, but we could do it with Runner Clue instead. So I believe that the strategy for the bottom is a really good attempt, because it's like there's no question about it. And then at the top, I do believe that Penda really helps, because he's also doing like a lot of damage. Also, Dorga, by the way, is again like really, really good in this encounter. You could do it with Dorga, but let's just assume you don't have a Dorga. I do believe that this is a winning combination as well. And I do believe that with Servidus it's also possible. So let's start at the bottom, because that was like the easy part. Yep. Oh, this time they don't die. Okay, this is interesting actually. Okay, we had bad RNG with the TIMTIM effect. You're getting used to that, no worries. So we're again using Penda, because I believe in that move. Oh, interesting, it didn't die. 2090. Okay. This is going to be slightly complicated, but we do have Nixie, so we can heal up if we have to. Okay, so now he's down to 79, so he's dead. This guy's down to 477, so he's also dead, because the active of Runner Clue deals 564 ability damage to everybody in darkness. So that means if we... Actually, we could just... Oh, we should connect here. So now we suddenly have a Shade army instead of a Skeleton army. Okay, we didn't get 3 of them, but that's fine. Okay, Penda did take a hit. Let's move Nixie. Let's move Penda. Shoot with Penda. Heal with Nixie. Everybody back to 100% health. And then we just have to deal with 2 more goblins. One of them is in darkness, so you're dead. And now we win again. So that's the approach if you don't happen to have a Grandma Bones. You could do it this way as well. If you do not happen to have a Queen Akeshru, oof, it's gonna be harder, to be honest. I don't know if it makes sense to break all of these down. But I strongly believe in this opening for the bottom. I think this is a really good opening for the bottom. Is there another good mage? I mean, I'm not complaining. We have a lot of good mages. You could potentially do some stuff with Areos as well. Yeah. I do believe that Cerberus is also an option. You could... The only question is, who do we Vine? Who do we Vine? Actually, I want to see if we can Vine Gibbo and Gobbo and if that takes us anywhere. I'm kind of curious about that. How much health do you have? 1,700. Okay, so Queen Akeshu cannot take him out. But we could take out the guy at the front. Then we stop Gibbo and Gobbo from doing anything. And we're just, generally speaking, we're like orienting ourselves to the left side of the map. Even though this is kind of weird because there's a healing pad on the right side of the map. So Gibbo and Gobbo can now deal with the shade, and then hopefully, this is not 100%, hopefully the other guys are going to be busy dealing with yet more summons. Oh, the RNG machine that is TIMTIM. Whoa. Okay, I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming. Wow. Not bad. Gibbo and Gobbo just one-shotting Cerberus like it's nobody's business. I mean, okay, there was a... There was a Thorns close by, and he has high ground. But still, I did not think that was going to happen. Okay, so this is not a winning strategy. Let me try this again. I just want to see if it's possible to do this without having to go through gigantic hassles. So let's try this one more time. We're going here, and then instead of going with the regular attack, we're using the active. So now he's also vined, but he cannot pull us because there's a mushroom in the way. So he can only do stuff to the mushroom. Yeah, he can play with the mushroom instead of with us. Oh, look at the RNG on TIMTIM. It's crazy. Okay, definitely the better strategy when we compare this to what I tried before. Then we are moving with Nixie. Always move with Nixie. Try and heal. Queen is not quite full yet, so we have to be careful here. Let's deal with the guy in the back. And just stay a little bit away. Let's find this guy. Then he's gonna be down. And don't attack with Runner Clue here. This is a situation where you do not want to attack with Runner Clue because you still need to heal Queen Akeshu. Yeah, so we have... Yeah, we still have one more enemy on the board, so we're good. Then we can move with Nixie. Move with Queen Akeshu. And now she should be at full health. She is. And then we can just focus fire everything on Gibbo and Gobbo. Because he cannot do anything. If the active is still... Is the active gone? Seems like it's still here. Okay, so we need to be somewhat careful because the active is still, like, there. But we do have, like, infinite attacks, so we're good. Here. Okay, it's also possible with Cerberus. You just have to make sure that you're blocking the vines. I think there's a couple of options to master this encounter. Mostly because it looks like it's complicated because you can move units to both the top and the bottom. But it's actually, like, just... it's a disguise. Yeah, this is not the encounter you're looking for. You just ignore the bottom because you have TIMTIM to take care of the bottom. Play a second unit, like a healer is a really good idea, for the bottom. And then you have 3 more units that you can play whoever you want, as long as they are mages, to master the top. And I think this is a fine approach to mastering this adventure, basically. Alright, I have no dark mages. Wow! No dark mages? Well, I hope you have a Penda then. How do you not have a single Dark Mage? Like, no Grammar Bones, no Queen Akeshu, no Runner Clue? Oof. Wow, that sucks. Well, I guess Areus could be an option if he's at least like... Oh no, he's not. He needs to be like a legendary because otherwise Gibbo and Gobbo is just gonna single-handedly take him out. Wow. Well, Penda could be an option because Penda is preventing him from moving out because of the ice tile. So he could move 1 tile and then he could again use the active to grab you. Huh. It's gonna be really hard without a Dark Mage, I have to say. I don't see an... Oh, you can always sacrifice King Caradan. You just play Caradan and Gibbo and Gobbo is gonna pull him. Hopefully Tristan is gonna jump in. You never know. Tristan is kinda... doesn't always want to jump in. Yeah, that would definitely be an option. Other than that, I don't see an option. I'm really unlucky. You are really unlucky. If you don't have any of them, that's crazy. The legendary encounter was pretty forgiving. I only brought 4 heroes, made a mistake, and still was only 3 points short of perfect. Wow. Well, that sounds like you played it well, even though you started with just 4 instead of 5 units. Alright guys, I have a work day to get to. And it's not getting any earlier. So again, because I gave you such short notice, please do me a favor. Just leave a comment below the video. I'm gonna be selecting a winner tomorrow. So the idea is the following. Let me just pull this over here and switch the view. I have 400 windows open, but I guess this is normal when you're working with OBS. So we're going here. So the idea is this. This is the video that you all see right now, obviously. And then you just scroll to the bottom. And after we are finishing the stream, apparently, there's gonna be an option to comment on the stream. Just leave a comment there. You don't have to comment in the chat today because we only have a couple of people watching because I gave you such short notice. So after the stream is over, leave a comment here in this channel direction, and then you will be in the prize pool, and I'm going to be drawing a winner tomorrow. So I know you're all waiting for me to finish the stream, so you can leave your comment, and I'm going to do you that favor. I have a great day. Thank you. You guys too. Thank you very much. So that's it for today. We're gonna be back, I don't know, the absolute latest would be for the next preview of the festival, the upcoming festival. And there's also a chance we're doing something in between. I think there's a tournament arena coming up or something. And then we're gonna be streaming again. As always, just follow this channel, subscribe, check out the official Discord. On the official Discord, I always let you know when I go live, usually with a bit more leeway, so it's easier for you to join. And with that, everybody enjoy your day. Bye bye.